A while back I did a video where I looked at the best PBA left-handers of all time, and I thought I'd do the same thing but with two-handers this time. In the grand scheme of things, two-handed bowling is still relatively new, so obviously there are far less bowlers to choose from than if I was doing a list of left or right-handers. However, there is still a number of two-handers who have established themselves as the best in the game and even as one of the best of all time. I'll be picking what I think are the 5 greatest two-handers of all time as it stands in 2023. There isn't really any other criteria for making this list apart from the fact that all of these players throw the ball with two hands. So without further ado, let's start with number 5 on this list, Oscar Palermo. Oscar Palermo was one of the first two-handed bowlers to come into prominence and had great success in Europe, winning 13 European titles. He's also won on the PBA Tour though, with 5 titles so far. Just to show how dominant he was in Europe during his prime, he was the EBT ranking champion for 3 consecutive years from 2007 to 2009. Oscar made his television debut at the 2004 US Open, making him the first two-handed bowler to compete in a televised PBA Tour event. He eventually won his first PBA title at the 2010 Shark Championship, and since then he's won 4 further PBA titles, including 1 major at the 2011 PBA World Championship, and this made him the first two-hander at the time to win a major. As Oscar was one of the first to essentially usher in the two-handed style, he definitely had to make this list in my opinion. However, his success in both Europe and America speaks for itself, and there's no doubt he's one of the best two-handed bowlers of all time. Add in his incredible speed when throwing a spare one-handed, and you have a bowler who had all the skills to compete with the best for many years. Number 4. Jesper Svensson. I debated which order Jesper and Oscar should be on this list, but in the end I felt that Jesper just had the edge due to the number of PBA titles he's won. He has won 11 titles so far, including 1 major, but you also have to remember that Jesper is 28, so he's going to win more titles, whereas Oscar is 39, so although Oscar could certainly win again on the PBA Tour, it's a lot less likely the closer he gets towards the end of his career. And aside from Jesper's 11 PBA titles, he's also won 6 European titles as well. He's had a pretty quiet season in 2023, and although many are now questioning how he will adapt after the new urethane rules come into place, he's too talented not to win again, and if he never won a title again, I still would say he deserves to be on this list at number 4. Number 3. Kyle Troup. Kyle Troup recently won his 10th PBA title at the 2023 PBA Tour Finals. This means he's now eligible for the Hall of Fame, and it seems almost a certainty that he will be inducted. Troup has proved himself time and time again on the tour, and he actually set the PBA single season earnings record when he earned just over $469,000, and this surpassed the previous record of nearly $420,000, which was earned by Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the 02-03 season. Once again, picking the order of this list was difficult because you could make a case for Troup being below Jesper, but again, I felt Troup right now is probably a little bit more of a versatile player, and interestingly, 2 of Troup's PBA titles came in the Roth-Holman doubles tournament, where he actually partnered with Jesper, and they won in 2017 and in 2020. Overall, I would say that Troup has pretty much established himself as a top 10 player on the PBA Tour right now, and I think he certainly is one of the best two-handed bowlers to ever play the game. And at 32 years of age, there's no doubt that his list of titles and achievements will grow considerably in the future. Number 2. Anthony Simonson. Simonson is currently 26 years of age, and what he has achieved so far is staggering for such a young age. He's won 12 titles so far, but it's been his performances in the majors that have been most impressive. He's won 5 majors and is the youngest player in history to reach this milestone of 5 major championships, and he's also the first player to have 5 major titles before the age of 30. Although he has a long way to go, he's one of the few bowlers who has a legitimate shot reaching Jason Belmonte's major record. Aside from his impressive major haul, he's also had a phenomenal season this year. Through the first 14 events of the 2023 season, Simonson never finished out of the top 10. Simonson has clearly established himself as a dominant force and is easily in the top 3 of all players on tour right now. If it hadn't been for EJ Tackett's absolutely ridiculous season, then Simonson would have easily been the best player in the 2023 season. Number 1. Jason Belmonte. This should come as no surprise to you all, whether you love or hate him. As it stands right now, he's the best two-handed bowler of all time, and it's not even close. Oscu may have been one of the first to help two-handed bowling get off the ground, but Belmo launched it into another stratosphere. He's influenced an entire generation of bowlers and single-handedly caused the two-handed style to catch fire, something I don't think many could ever have predicted. In short, Belmonte has changed the game forever. Regardless of whether you like or dislike two-handed bowlers, Belmonte's influence cannot be ignored, and he's managed to inspire so many, not just because he uses two hands, it's that he's broken records left, right and centre while doing so. Right now he has 31 tour titles including 15 majors, easily placing him at the top of the list of all-time major winners. We all know by now just what Belmo has achieved, and at 39 years of age, he certainly has more left in the tank. We never know what the future will bring and which new players will rise to the top, but as it stands, Belmo is far and away the best two-hander in my opinion, and he was an easy choice for number 1 on this list. And that brings us to an end of this video. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts on this. Do you agree with my list? If not, who do you think should have been included? And don't forget to comment below and let me know your top 5 two-handers of all time. I'd be really interested to see who you all pick in your top 5. To be honest, I was quite happy with the selection in terms of the players that I chose, but I think the ordering, I think Anthony Simonson at number 2 and Belmonte at number 1 are pretty obvious choices, but 3, 4 and 5 are certainly up for debate in terms of the order. I felt like perhaps I could have placed Oscu a little bit higher, but then Troup and Jesper I feel had better PBA careers so far, so it was a bit of a difficult one in terms of the order on the list. But that's the thing with these kind of lists, they're never straightforward. People always have to be left off and the order can always be debated, but yeah, I was quite happy with my selections. But let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and as always, if you have enjoyed this video but you've yet to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could go ahead and click the subscribe button. Thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.